Thank you and welcome. Let me move this out of the way. Sorry. That's probably right on your screen. And I know there's another way to do that. But welcome to Take That MS. It's our new online support group for people with MS. I want to give you a little background about me. First off, before I get into this, we do record these sessions, and that is so that we can keep a video library of everything we talk about. And that's what's wonderful about BrightBod right now, is that we're developing all these libraries that we're going to be able to use for future use. So these are being recorded, and at the end we'll have time for some questions. So again, welcome to our online support group. My name's Caroline Craven. I'm a certified life coach, and I'm also known as the girl with MS. And I do a little bit about my background just quickly. I was very active and very healthy for most of my life. And 16 years ago, I got hit with MS real bad, real hard. I couldn't see, couldn't walk unassisted. I was just in very bad shape. Left my corporate career. I left my active lifestyle, left everything. And through various practices, studies, different things, I found a way to be much healthier. I'm now a certified life coach. I'm a certified nutrition educator. I do freelance writing for healthline.com and other medical websites and blogs. I'm also a blogger at The Girl with MS, and it's one of the top MS blogs voted by a couple organizations. And I've also been hired as a patient expert. So MS is something I live with every day, so I understand it. I have days that I can't walk and days that I can climb a mountain. It's very random that way. Take That MS is going to be lifestyle tips for living with MS, and some of the topics we're going to talk about: stress, nutrition, exercise, work, family, friends, relationships, anything that the audience wants to bring to me, we're going to talk about it. Every Thursday here at BrightBod, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So as you know, with MS, we often, just in life in general, we have a plan. And whether we get MS or not, that plan goes awry. But when MS really takes our life down, it's amazing what it can do to some of the most simplest plans, just like going to the market. I no longer drive anymore on the freeways, just so you know that about me. I do, sometimes people look at me and say, well, you don't look sick. But I have a lot of visual problems, a lot of pain, a lot of other issues that go on. And this, I often feel that my life looks like this bottom picture on this image. And one of the things I've found the best with healing helping live better with my MS has been finding balance. And this is a photograph I actually took in the Galapagos after I was sick, but it took me a lot of patience to wait for that bird and that reflection to sit there. And I thought, you know what, if I didn't have the balance I found, I just found a way to live a lot healthier. And that's what I want to help us all do. Ways to manage stress. So as you know, stress is one of the biggest culprits in affecting our MS. It can take us from healthy to hospital sick in a matter of hours or minutes. It's amazing. The body with MS just does not sometimes regulate itself well against anxiousness or being upset. And that's what stress can do to the body. So what we want to do is we want to find that balance, a balance that will bring this sort of calm to our day. So one tip that I've come up with is called the 520. And this is one of my favorite little tips. A lot of times people think you have to make huge lifestyle changes to see a difference. And you don't. You can make something as small as a 20, 30-minute change in your day, a positive change, and this will help you manage a lot of your stress. My 520, and I call it 520 because the first thing I do is 5 minutes long and the last thing I do is 20 minutes long. You can pick and choose whatever time you want. This is just something that helps me focus in the morning. I get up in the morning. I'm not very good at actually getting out of bed anymore early. My legs are done with MS. I mean, things just don't work anymore. Takes me a little while to get going. So what I do is I'll do about 5 minutes of journaling, and I'll just write down my thought process. This is a good way to actually get your mind started in the morning. You got the mind to the hand-eye connection going. And then about 10 minutes of reading. And I mean reading just a good old-fashioned book, that tactile touching of the paper. Then 20 minutes of exercise. And I know many people work out a lot more than 20 minutes, but 20 minutes is just, some people can't work out that much. So this is just a way to get you focused on either starting a routine of exercise or adding something to your current routine, or maybe your grounding ritual will have something other than exercise. But this was a way that it helped me get focused and grounded each morning. So I'll do this. My goal is to do this every day before I hop on the computer. It's very easy for me to hop on the computer and just get moving with my work and my tasks, but I'm not taking care of myself. Once you create your 520, I'm going to take it one step further. Now, these are some good lifestyle development skills I'm working with here. And I know I'm just meeting a lot of you for the first time today, but I want this to be of good value. So what I do is after I create my 520 and I practice that, I also then I'll create a lifestyle goal. One that worries me right now, one concern I have is remaining healthy and strong during the holidays. I mean, we have food, we have diet change, we have family, we have stress, we have money issues. We're about to enter two of the most stressful months, or have entered, two of the most stressful months we can have during the year. So this is an incredible time to take care of ourselves. What I want to do is I want to remain strong and healthy during the holidays. So when I'm doing my 520, when I'm exercising, when I'm writing, that's what's on the top of my mind is, okay, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this to stay strong. So you create your 520, you create that lifestyle goal with that daily intention of every day of reaching that goal, and you put those two together. And this little skill every morning can make a difference between accomplishing big goals and just getting through the day. And you can see it's a very flexible thing for everybody with MS. But I find MS makes our plan awry, and this just brings it all together. One thing to remember is that help is nearby. And this is something I want everyone with MS, anybody without MS, to remember. Asking for help is very difficult. We know that. But with MS, sometimes we have to ask for help for the most simplest of things. And in order to do that, it's time to let that ego go. And I know it can be very difficult holding on to stuff, but let's really think about, go back to that goal. We want to stay healthy and strong for the next 2 months during the holidays. And in order to do that, I'm going to let go of my ego and I'm going to ask for help. And asking for help could be calling an old friend. And imagine what that sort of can re-energize in a friendship. Everything gets put off to texts and emails these days, but pick up the phone and call a friend. It's easy with MS to start isolating. I think isolation is probably one of the biggest problems with MS. So don't isolate. Easy to say, right? But what you want to do is just every now and then pull yourself out. If you find yourself isolating, pull yourself out. Again, you want to remain strong and healthy over the next 2 months. Just keep repeating that. And then think about your friends and family, and think about your support group. Who do you have in your circle of friends that you can call and just say hi and talk to them about your lifestyle goal? The more you repeat those words, strong and healthy during the next 2 months, strong and healthy, it's going to help you remain strong and healthy over the next 2 months. So, and then when you're doing your 520, your journaling, make a little note. It doesn't have to be long, but make a little note of who you spoke with and how it made you feel. And all of these little steps are going to help you get through the holiday stronger than you've ever felt. How are we doing on time? Excellent. Just a few more little tips. And a lot of this we're going to go into later sessions, but staple it up, staple it shut, throw it away, let it go. This is just an ongoing tip that I like to try to think of because we have enough on our minds. Literally, I mean, we have white spots, we have lesions, we've got all this stuff going on. We don't need to clutter our mind with unnecessary thoughts and unnecessary thoughts. So just remember to staple it shut and throw it away. Let that stuff go. Remember again, I want to be strong and healthy for the next 2 months. I've got the holidays. Sometimes that can bring up a lot of emotional stuff. Do your 520 in the morning, ground yourself, and then anything else, let it just roll off as best it can. Breathing deep, letting any issue just roll off the back of your neck, back of your head. So remember, that's a good thing, I think, to think about over these next 2 months as we work on staying strong and healthy. We want to breathe deep. We want to practice our 520 in the morning. And we want to stop and smell the roses. Slow is the new fast. I think if you can help, I'm going to hit on that a lot over the course of time. This is my saint. Slow is the new fast. Because I went from being the hare to the tortoise. I think a lot of people do. I think MS slams you down to the ground, can make you feel so many things, let alone productive and effective and useful. But if you slow down and start to smell the roses, start breathing deep, start taking your time, it's amazing how much energy and power we have to get through the day. So I am so glad you guys have joined us. I am going to talk about a lot of this stuff later on, so I want you to come back and join us next week and the following weeks. We're going to go through meditative escapes. These are all things that can help you stay strong and healthy during the next couple of months. Some essential little tips to help you sleep. I know often with MS we have issues with sleeping, so we can all get into this more later, but this just helps us stay strong over the next couple months. Counting sheep, evening yin yoga, essential oils, that will be a topic for discussion. I have a lot of experience with essential oils, meditation practices and such like that. So thank you very much for joining me and joining all of us. I'd love to open up for discussions if that works with you, Joe.
Does anybody have a question?
Yes. How did your MS started?
How did it start? Oh, thank you for asking that. It hit me hard with I was traveling in Guatemala actually with a few friends, and it just all of a sudden I felt was all of a sudden out of the blue. It looked like I had about 3 or 4 martinis at 8 in the morning. I couldn't walk a straight line. Everything was blurry. My balance was off. By the time I got home from Guatemala and got into a neurologist, because I went to a ear, nose, and throat doctor first, thinking it might have been an inner ear infection. She could tell right away as soon as I walked in that she thought it was MS, as long as it was not a brain tumor or something else. So we ruled that out. But it hit hard and fast, and it took me several it took me years, I think, to really come out of that attack in the long run. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, hi.
Um, I don't have MS, but
Mhm.
I've dealt with some difficult times lately. Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, hi. Yes, I can
Um,
hear you.
what's helped me um, get through my difficult times is with music. I
Music
play
is
some
very
music
healing.
and I just sing to my favorite songs, and
Uh,
it just
nice.
really uplifting.
That's nice. That's nice. I use music a lot. It helps me stay focused. I often have these headphones on, and when I'm working, sometimes if I'm writing or doing something like that, I notice that I use the music a lot more now than I ever did before.
It helps me feel less lonely when
Yeah,
I'm at home,
that's a good point. I could see that totally helping.
because
Sure.
I I don't have my mom and dad with me anymore,
Um,
so I'm I've been trying to cope with that.
that's really difficult. That's difficult to not have family nearby when you've had them. I'm very fortunate. I have my 80, 81, and 84-year-old parents living just on the other side of the wall over there and outside of our office. It's great. I feel very fortunate. So I feel for you, and I understand that's hard not having them around.
Carolyn, I have a question.
Yes, yes,
Are you considered permanently disabled?
I am. I am. I received my disability, yeah, quite a few years, well, number of years ago. I had horrible fatigue, um, and the balance issues. Sometimes sometimes my hands work fine. I can type. Sometimes they don't work at all. Um, Kind of a lot of the varying issues like that. So, and my brain, when I was sick, I say that I'm still sick, but when it first hit me, my cognitive thinking was so messed up that I I couldn't see, I couldn't even think straight, and I had no memory. I had lost all my short-term memory. So, you know, yes. And how about you? How is this Lorna or Valda? Lorna?
This is Lorna.
Lorna.
I
Um,
was just yeah. I was just wanted
great.
to
And
know.
if you had MS for a while?
No. Mm-mm.
This is, hello?
Yeah. Hi, Valda.
Yeah, this is Valda. You know,
Hi.
I did go through some struggles a couple of years ago, and I still do have problems with my balance and stuff like that. But what I find, putting that aside, that when I can stay in a quiet place and just do my meditation, you know, I find that that calms me and, you know, keep away all of the stresses that, you know, that I know that will be coming in the middle of the day because of the type of work that I do, you know?
Yeah, that's a good point. I love that. I call it just taking five. And people don't understand the power of that, of just even going into a quiet room, laying down and turning the lights off just for 5 minutes. It's a battery recharge. I mean, that's how I feel with MS. I feel like I have an iPhone battery with programs running all the time when they shouldn't be, in the background. And I'm always having to remind myself to, okay, don't waste energy on that. Your energy is very limited. Just put that
Yeah.
aside, staple it shut, But that's a tough one, I think. Yeah. So we'll have lots of different type of tips and tricks and stuff. I think anything we can do to manage stress is good. And there are a lot. I think that taking 5, that's sort of different than managing stress. That's just recharging the battery. I love that idea. What are some other ones you guys have worked with? Anything that comes to mind? Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of, how about nutrition? I know, and I'm just going to kind of pick your brains for a little bit because I've got a couple of the talks set up. One of them is next week we're going to talk more on managing stress, I believe. But I also want to talk about nutrition and food tips. Do you guys have issues with food or things like that with the holidays coming?
Well, I have changed my diet a couple of years ago and have cut animals from my diet. So I'm on most a plant-based diet. And, you know, I do look at the things that I eat rather than, you know, sometimes I'll use a little sweet sometimes, you know, just to work myself out. But on the whole, I'm usually, and sometimes I find that I'll just go raw for a whole week or 2 weeks. And I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, yeah. That's nice. I like to do that. Like sometimes, and I like to cook. And if I'm cooking for people, I might do meat, or if I'm doing family dinners and stuff like that. But then sometimes I'll just go and do, you know, fresh sprouts and just everything I've made or grown in the garden, and just do it all raw for about a week. And it's just nice to be able to do different things like that. I think I've had a lot of good luck doing some changes with my diet, but what are some of the other big concerns you guys have with MS? And I can start.
I have a question. What did you know at the time you were diagnosed with MS? What did you know about MS?
Oh gosh, great question. I knew nothing about MS. I didn't really even know what it was, although my half cousin was just diagnosed 2 months before me with the same disease. But I didn't know anything about it. I just remember asking her if it would, is this going to kill me? And she said, not necessarily. You know, it's not. That was my big concern. Was I was just scared, and I thought, okay, whatever it is, bring it on. We can do it. We've got this. We'll figure it out. And it was scary for a long time. I mean, especially for for anybody. A lot of people with MS or type A personalities were like to get things done. We like to do a lot. And we often burn out. I think we just burn ourselves out quickly, maybe. I'm not sure. But, you know, all of a sudden you get thrown to the ground with an illness, and, you know, you're just grateful that you're alive. That was what I could remember in the beginning.
But in the beginning, you said your walking was off and your equilibrium was off, and it was as though you had a number of martinis in the morning at 8:30 in the morning. So was it just your legs and your ability to walk, or did you start to see it manifest in other parts of your body? And if so, how long did it take for you to see those things?
It was pretty much throughout the body, because the balance, it wasn't just the legs, it was the whole body was off. It's kind of hard to explain, but my whole body was off. In hindsight, I realized that it actually was probably attacking me earlier, and I didn't realize that. I started losing my balance much earlier, but things that weren't as noticeable. I used to be an avid single track mountain bike rider. I was very active, whitewater kayaking, all these different things. All of a sudden I crashed I hit a tree on this trail that I'd ridden hundreds of times. Like, it just didn't make sense. My depth perception was off. All of a sudden I couldn't ride through a little gate type of thing, you know, that you just had to balance the wheels between and go through. All of a sudden I couldn't do that anymore. There were a lot of little weird things that had happened. My vision going bad, that was that was pretty bad. And that happened in Guatemala, and then it got worse. The whole body felt like without balance. It just felt weak. I felt like I couldn't walk. I couldn't turn. I couldn't walk down the hallway. It was that sort of weird. Like I remember when I started easing off, I actually remember the first time I could turn a circle in the hall without bumping into all the walls. Does that make sense? So that probably, after Guatemala, it still got worse for a couple months before it got better.
So are you able to walk now on your own?
I am most of the time, and I'm usually fine now. But I say that there are times at the airport, or times when I'm fatigued where my legs just aren't working well. But right now, most of the time, I'm able to walk, and sometimes I can do really good walking. I can go on hikes. As a matter of fact, I've been trying to re-strengthen my legs. I felt like this last year I let them get a little too weak, and that's not what we want to do with MS. I think there is a lot of that use it or lose it type of stuff with MS. I mean, we can't push to injury or anything like that, but we definitely need to keep strong. And I could tell I'd let myself get a little too weak, and I don't. So I put more focus and emphasis on rebuilding them, and they've been coming along, which is nice. You never know with MS. Some days you're strong and some days you're not, it seems like. How about you? Do you guys have walking and ability?
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
First one, well, it's actually two questions. First one is there any kind of hereditary aspect to MS? And second is it considered to be autoimmune, like an autoimmune disease?
It is considered to be an autoimmune disease. Generally speaking, in rough terms, the body is attacking itself. It attacks the myelin sheath on the nerves, mostly located in the brain and somewhat down the spinal column. Your first question?
Is this any kind of hereditary aspect to it, or?
Right. And I'm glad you asked that, because I think there's been some studies that are changing this. What I've learned about it was that it was familial, meaning that now that I was diagnosed, my sister or mom could be 50% more likely to have it. But they don't say it's not genetic. But I'm gonna actually do some research on that, because like I said in the beginning, I write for Healthline, and I'm finding that the studies out on MS are amazing. Like the amount of dollars and studies going into our illness, it's impressive. So I'm going to check on that, and I'll let you guys know more about it.
I have another question.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Did you tried a first medication, second medication? What worked for you? I mean, was it something that they did from the beginning?
No. In the beginning, I did. Interesting. I was attacked pretty hard. They put me on one little dose of prednisone. My doctor did not want to put me on any steroid flush or anything like that. She just felt that the body becomes a bit accustomed to them. She wanted to see how my body healed naturally. So, but with that said, she put me on I went on Copaxone right away. And I was on Copaxone for a while. And, but then I got into a 3-year double-blind study at USC for an actual T-cell vaccine for MS. It's an actual vaccination based on our own T cells. And in order to go into that, I had to go off all that kind of medication, any disease-modifying drug. So I went off of that in 2001, and I've not been on one since. That's me. I do use medical marijuana. When I got sick, I actually couldn't eat for about, it was months. I became emaciated. I couldn't keep anything down. I was dry heaving. I was having convulsions. This was how the MS hit me. And a doctor put me on it to help me with that. And then we found that it actually helped with fatigue and a lot of my other symptoms, pain, fatigue, the urinary problems. I also get tremors. I get essential tremors. We found that, and that was through trial and error. Everybody's different. I tried other drugs. They put me on a lot of prescriptions, things for fatigue, like Provigil, stuff like that. None of it worked for me. It actually, I had bad reactions to all of them. They put me on the cannabis and it worked fine. So, everyone's different. I don't know what it's doing with EMS. It's interesting because I do feel like in some ways I'm getting better and better and better, even after 15 years. It's almost 16 years now. So there's part of me that wonders, okay, how much is it, the cannabis? How much is it stress management? How much is it eating a nice, healthy, clean eating diet? I do eat meat on occasion. I'm not a big meat eater, but I have been at times. I don't seem to have many problems with my diet, except that I cannot eat too much wheat or gluten. If I can have a little bit, it's fine. But if I have too much of it, I get a little inflamed inside. So I'm sure it's a combination of everything, but it would be nice to know exactly what it is that's helping me stay stronger.
When you said that that slow is the new fast, what are the consequences of trying to live your day in a fast way? Why is it so bad for you?
Great question. Yeah, living fast for me, I burn out. All of a sudden my MS will just hit me like a freight train. I am a go, go, go sort of person. I like to get up and I can go and do this and do this and do this. And oh my gosh, look, I have 5 more minutes. And if I do this, that means I've put in 12 hours. Well, that's only half time because there's 24 hours in a day. So that's my mentality. And if I try to live up to that like I used to, or keep up with it, I get sick. And my MS will just hit me very hard. First thing to go is usually my vision. I'll start going into convulsions. I get very bad leg cramp or muscle cramps and spasms. Yeah. So I feel like I am always trying to slow myself down. I'm just always saying, okay, have I, time to breathe deep? Let's do a little yoga. Let's slow ourselves down because you have plenty of time to get it all done and it's going to get done. And, but I like that. That is the consequences are I end up in bed and I'm sick and I don't help anybody. So.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us. That's it for today.
Thank you guys very
Carolyn,
much.
what's in store for next week?
Pardon?
What is in store for next week?
Oh, yeah. Next week, we have a lot more. I've got some more great tips on managing stress, which I think are great for the holidays. Just some cheat sheet stuff that we can go over. And I've also got some good nutritional tips that I want to go over. And I am open. I've got talks for the next 3 years, so I'm open too for any ideas anybody wants to talk about. I'm on Twitter at @thegirlwithms. I have a blog called girlwithms.com, and just hashtag take that MS. And you guys anybody's more than welcome to visit my website, call me. My number is not on that slide, but I'll add it. But it's on the website and my email's there. Feel free to just reach out and contact me. And my support group, that I have a group in Brightbud. So ask a question there. That's the best way to contact me, is to log in and go to the MS support groups, and you'll see my group there. It's got the orange and blue, and take that MS. And we'll just start conversations there and start bringing up some questions, because I can talk about a lot of subjects, So I appreciate it. It's great to have a good audience, and I appreciate your participation. Is there anything off the top of your head that anybody can think of that they're dying to know about MS or living with MS? Nothing. Just everything? Okay.
Yeah.
We can do that. Great. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.
Okay.